We're going to probably get to this a little bit later on in the program, but Kathy, you're going to be retiring soon. Talk a little bit about the decision to do that, and what are you looking forward to most?
The decision was really dictated on the fact of our ages and where we are in life. My husband, Rick, retired last June. So we thought the time was right for us to retire while we are still relatively young and healthy and can go out and do all the things we haven't been able to do up to this.
So is traveling going to be a part of this? Or?
It is. Traveling, and I suspect there'll be a lot of golf this summer.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah. So you guys getting an RV and you're going to see the world, or what?
We're not going to do the RV, but there is a lot of the world we have yet to see. Neither one of us have been to Europe at all. There's a lot of places in this country we haven't been. So I envision some road trips, minus the RV, to see parts of this country we haven't seen yet when we have the time to do so.
Okay, that'll be great. Again, Heather and Kathy from Citizens First Bank. Let's get a little background for our listeners. So again, Kathy, you came to Citizens First Bank how?
I was part of the startup crew. Back in 1999, when all the banks were merging, buying each other out, consolidating, we had a group of local investors who were directors at Mercantile at the time. They were combining with First Star, and they really became a decentralized kind of board. They weren't really active in the community anymore, being able to make decisions locally. It was headquartered out of St. Louis. And they just felt very strongly that this community needed a locally owned bank where decisions could be made locally. And they wanted to ensure that happened for the community. So they reached out to Tom Singson and said, hey, this is what we want to do. Get a group of people together, we'll raise the money, and we're going to form a locally owned bank. So I got to be in from the very beginning.
That is great. And the names of those original board of directors, just pillars of the community. I know you can't list them all, but I would people be interested in some of the names.
Yeah, absolutely. They were very much cornerstones of this community, longstanding businesses here. Like you mentioned, they're all listed on our website. It was 14 of them. They were very influential in being able to get things done for us. You know, Steve Howes in real estate was able to help us find a building. You know, Bob Holsinger is still on the board and was very active in that. Some deceased ones, Jack Caesar, some people we haven't thought about, Jim Burns. Think of what he's done for this community. They were all a part of the bank. Current chairman, John McElhaney Motors, our first chairman, Tom Kelly, still a part of this community and very active in the Clinton schools. So definitely all about community.
And banking wasn't your background?
No, it wasn't. I came from a finance background. I was an accounting major. I worked in the accounting functions for an aluminum manufacturer when I was first out of school. And then I worked for John Deere for 10 years prior. And then at that point, Rick and I had met each other. He obviously had a practice here in Clinton. My job required me to relocate, to advance, and finally we decided we're going to live and work in the same community and make community a focus. And so that's how I got into banking.
How did that interest originally in accounting begin for you? Have you always been interested in numbers?
Math was always a strong suit for me. I really liked that. I was raised to work hard and what the value of money was. So I really think it's a natural fit for me. I sometimes joke that I swear I was born one day and started working the next. It's just the path I've always followed.
Heather Farwell with us as well. Heather, how'd you end up at Citizens First Bank?
Just a very lucky opportunity. Greg Farwell, my husband, and I were living in Indianapolis, and he heard of the opportunity at Citizens First Bank, his hometown. So he was able to get the position in real estate, and I was able to come on at the beginning on a contractual basis with Citizens First Bank, and I helped write some of the loan department's policies and procedures. And as of June of this year will be my 20th anniversary at Citizens First Bank.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what was your background?
My background actually was real estate mortgage financing. So in college, I had changed majors a couple of times, so it ended up being more of a business degree. And I started working part-time, going to college part-time at Prudential Home Mortgage in Springfield, Illinois, which ended up after several mergers being Wells Fargo. So I've worked at some larger financial institutions on the real estate mortgage lending side, some smaller institutions, and coming to Clinton, Iowa at Citizens First Bank, I was able to start as the loan supervisor to help supervise the processors because real estate lending was my background. But I've been extremely fortunate to learn many different areas within Citizens First Bank. I think that we are very mindful of looking at the strengths of our employees and putting them in the right seat of the bus. So even if they have a background in lending, but we might see that they have a strength in customer service or they have a strength in legal or compliance, we will align where your strengths are to help grow within our bank.
What attracted you to real estate and what you do now?
I actually fell into it. It was more of when I started at Prudential, I actually started in the secondary marketing area. And we basically bought and sold pools of loans. So it gets into mortgage-backed securities in the investment type side. So my background was slightly different than Greg's, which is why I think that we've taken different paths here at Citizens First.
You mentioned that Greg, of course, coming back to his hometown. Now, you're from Taylorville, is that right?
It's right outside of Taylorville. I'm from Kincaid. But yes, Taylorville, we spoke about that the last time because you're familiar with my neck of the woods.
First job in radio was at WTIM, WEEE. At the time, KROS was a group of stations with them down in Taylorville. Didn't have an opening at the time, so they farmed me down to Taylorville. And the thing that just floored me was how flat it is down there.
I hear that quite often
Yes.
from Greg about how flat it is down there. It is. I mean, we don't have a river. We don't have the topography. Yes, we don't have any of that there.
And my responsibility was I lived in Pana, and I was to be the outside Taylorville sales representative. So I got to go to Nokomis, Raymond. What are some of the other towns down there?
Moweaqua, yes. I don't know if you were near Edinburgh or Auburn or Mount Vernon. There's a lot of little small towns, a lot of them that you named off are who we played in high school sports.
There you go. Taylorville was the nickname?
Taylorville Tornadoes.
Tornado, that's what I thought. Yeah. So did you actually go to Taylorville High School?
I actually went to Kincaid High School. And and we were the ponies.
Huh? Oh, really? Were the girls the Phillies?
Nope, we were all the ponies.
Just all the ponies. Very good. So we're going to be talking about banking, of course. We got Heather and Kathy in from Citizens First Bank. Let's kick off with financial wellness. Is that yours? Who's covering financial wellness?
Actually, a little bit of both.
Okay.
So I'll let Heather start.
Okay.
So one of the things that we are digital banking is one of the things that I am definitely have taken the lead on at Citizens First. And we have a very nice option in our digital platform called PFM, which is Personal Financial Management. And it helps you set up a budget. And it takes what your spending habits are currently with your check writing, your withdrawals, your debit cards. It looks to see how much you're spending. And then you can put into the software what you'd like to save. And it will help you aggregate what you're spending, what you're trying to save. And then you can really kind of look at your monthly budget. It's available to anyone who's using digital banking. It's a free service. The nice thing about it is if you aren't sure where to start, then just reach out to one of our universal bankers or reach out to one of our digital specialists, and we will help you either live chat. We can do it on the phone, or you can come in and we will help you set up your budget based on your spending habits now. So that you can see if there's a way that you want to save more, if you're trying to pay down a loan. We'll help you with your specific financial need, because everyone's needs are going to be different based on their lifestyle and where they're at in life.
We'll get more into that. We're going to take a break of the weather right after this. Well, we are visiting now with Brent out at Planet Auto. One thing we do want to talk about is the fact that you are still buying cars directly from people in the area, and you make it so easy to sell your car.
One of our best sources is just the local people that are trying to sell their car. So we can do a couple things. You're welcome to call us and give us the information. We can give you a pretty good estimate. You can, of course, come by with your vehicle for us to look at. But if it's just not convenient, you can give us a call and we'll show up at your house and take a look at it and make you a very fair offer.
So now, Ted Metzger, you mentioned all the experience, and he's been out there 2 years now.
Just past 2 years. Time flies. He's been an awesome asset for our company. Guy works hard. He just takes good care of his people. And when people call him looking for vehicles that we don't have on the lot, he just does a great job of helping them find what they're looking for. Okay. And again, the address 2726 Lincoln Way. You can give him a call, 563-243-0002. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you soon.
It's time now for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Citizens First Bank.
A little less in the way of wind and rain today. We're expecting partly cloudy skies this morning to become mostly cloudy. We'll see temperatures near 50 this afternoon. Clouds continue to increase tonight with light rain developing. We'll be in the upper 30s. And for Wednesday, partly cloudy, much warmer, highs in the upper 50s. With your Storm Track 8 forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently, we have fair skies and a temperature of 40 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 5 miles per hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Citizens First Bank.
Everything's expensive. Gas, groceries. It seems the prices keep climbing. Are you thinking about ways to manage your personal budget? Citizens First Bank mobile app has a personal finance tool called Money Manager. No need for another app. It's already right in your hands. Try the Money Manager to get a clear picture of your spending. Banking as it should be at Citizens First Bank. Visit our digital branch at gocfb.bank or one of our local branches. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Join in the celebration. Clover Hills Appliance and Mattress Center in Clinton is celebrating President's Day with huge savings. Save on recliners made right here in the USA by Best Home Furnishings. Over 100 in stock. Buy one recliner, get the second for half price. Get big savings on Speed Queen washers and dryers, all GE appliances, and Tempur-Pedic and Therapeutic mattresses at Clover Hills Appliance and Mattress Center in Clinton and Sterling. With better prices and better service than the big box stores, you can't go wrong.
Ladies' Day continuing here on KROS with Citizens First Bank. We got Kathy and Heather in with us. We were talking about financial wellness. So Heather, you're talking about how people, an opportunity maybe to save money. People need to save, right?
Correct. Yes, we have retirements you want to save for. You have college for children that you want to save for. Or if you're just trying to own your first home or buy another car, savings plays into that. Now,
Kathy, you just recently talked to a group, Clinton Public Library. Talk about that presentation you put on.
I did. There was an outreach from the library. I think they recognized so much has changed in the world, the economy, what inflation has done. And so the title of it was Budgeting in Uncertain Times, which I think really encapsulated what people are concerned about and worried about. So part of the presentation was to really make it about the person. There is no one right budget for everyone. There were samples provided just to really get people thinking about what's important to me. What do I value? What am I currently spending on? And then just really find a way to not make it so overwhelming and so burdensome so that they stick with it was really the overall message. And this is the perfect time to do it. Think about everything we're getting in the mail is all our tax forms, all our year-end statements. Everything is readily at hand right now to really make this the perfect time to dive in and think about how I can make 2023 a great year.
Wait until you turn 65, then you'll be getting all kinds of new stuff in the mail as well.
I know. I look forward to that.
So talk about putting together that presentation. I mean, did they approach you, or is this something that you've done for other groups?
No, we were approached by the library. It happens to be my niece, Kate Tribble, who is the coordinator there. So naturally, she reached out to me to see if I would be interested in doing that. And of course, it really fit in with everything that Citizens First Bank is all about, helping our community and being a financial resource to them. So, but found to be a natural fit.
Kate comes in every once in a while for the program that the Clinton Public Library does. She does a great job.
Yeah.
Can't believe how much her and Abby look alike.
Yes, they really do.
And Abby was just recently in town playing tennis.
She was. It was wonderful. We got an opportunity to see her play. She's a freshman at Luther, getting a lot of playing time. She loves it up there, studying to be a nurse in the association with the Mayo program there. So Rick and I, not having any kids of our own, we have a very much interest in all our nieces and nephews.
There you go. I've got a nephew playing up at Luther too, tennis up there. Yeah, so that's a good group. So what about you? Do you do many presentations, Heather, to groups?
Internally, I do presentations on training. I do some presentations to some of our public entities, depending on what the situation is, if they're asking us to talk. But no, not in the manner that Kathy had given, not something like that.
It seems like Kiwanis and, they're always looking for people to come talk to their group. Do you get approached much that way?
I have at different times. I'm happy to do it, when I can. A lot of it just is a matter of what they want to learn more about and speak to. So it is something I enjoy doing, and I'm not opposed to doing in any way.
So should we get into digital banking or should we play the song first, Heather? What do you think?
Well, why don't we play the song first?
Okay, go ahead and introduce it since you picked it out.
So today our song is called Unstoppable, and it's by Sia.
A couple of unstoppable ladies in the studio with us, Kathy and Heather from Citizens First Bank. Okay, we're going to get into digital banking, and there are so many features.
There are so many features.
So my notes say.
What I really want to say, I think, to everyone about digital banking is it's just a different way to do banking. So instead of being able to walk into the branch, we've tried to put basically every product and service that we have available into what we call our digital branch or our website, but we like to call it our digital branch because that's what it is. You can bank through that digital branch the same way that you can bank if you were to come in to talk with us or to call us on the phone. So we're proud of our digital branch. We like our front-facing part of it because it talks about who we are, how we try to reinvest in this community. It shows what we do in this community, but then we also have all the products and services available to you to show that you can bank through that digital branch as if you walked into one of our offices locally.
And I know security is probably a concern for many of your customers. So talk about that.
Well, we, of course, as a bank, you have to have certain levels of security. We're required to by examiners, which is smart. We have a very knowledgeable VP of IT named Ryan, and he monitors our systems like no other. But we do have additional services that customers can put added features through digital. So you have the option to turn your card on and off. If you used your card at a grocery store and then you cannot find it in your wallet or in your purse, you can go onto our app and just turn it off until you find it again. So if you turn it off, it's just no transactions can happen. If I find it, I can turn it on again. Everything is easy. If you feel like you've lost it, it's off, no transactions can happen, and then you call into Citizens First Bank and we'll issue you another card.
So if somebody is interested in being a part of the digital branch, they come in, who would they talk to at Citizens First Bank?
You basically can talk to any of our universal bankers, which is basically your customer service area. We do have two people identified in Brady and Carolyn. They specifically focus on digital banking. But I will say our universal bankers, when you walk in to try to talk to them, they also have knowledge of it and can speak to you knowledgeably. But Carolyn and Brady or myself will dig into some of the features to see if they're right for you, if it's something that you want to utilize, and we'll just work with you.
Big advantage to take advantage of the digital branch.
What's the biggest advantage of it? I would say 24/7. So for people who work second shift or third shift and they're sleeping during the day or they're not able to come into a branch, it's 24/7. You can pay bills with it. You can transfer money with it. You can make your payment. You can also send us a request, a message through the system when the bank is closed, and we'll get it first thing in the morning.
Amazing. Okay, my time has just gone by so quickly. Kathy, you're going to be retiring. What have you found rewarding about your work at Citizens First Bank?
Everything. It's been a blur, really, but just everything that we've been able to provide the community and really just help individuals and people with their banking needs. It's been amazing.
What's been challenging for you?
Obviously, keeping up with regulation and what's required of the banks, through the pandemic, where everyone was sheltering in place, working from home. What were the banks doing? We were in there making sure we got money out to those in need and handling all the various government programs. So that's by far the biggest challenge.
Okay, we're under a minute now. What's most rewarding part of your work, Heather?
Working with the customers, working with our staff, the teamwork, the camaraderie.
And challenging?
I would say because of what has happened with COVID and lockdown, I think that people are banking differently. So really trying to see how people are banking or how they're spending their money and having us align the features that we have to help them even further. I think that banking's changing.
Real quick, the website.
www.gocfb.bank.
All right, thank you so much. Enjoy retirement. You and Rick have a great time.
All right. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, we want to thank again Heather and Kathy coming in. Ladies' Day continuing. April McFall is next from Regency. It is 10 o'clock, KROS Clinton, Iowa, FM 105.9, AM 1340.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. The U.S. Supreme Court's hearing arguments